Have you ever paused for a moment and asked yourself, what does it really mean to care for myself now in this season of life? Not just to get through the day, not just to manage aches and pains or check off doctor's visits, but to truly live with strength, dignity, and peace of heart. For many of us, growing older brings changes we never imagined. Our pace slows, routines shift, and sometimes it feels like that the energy we once had belongs to someone else. And yet, here's the truth that often gets overlooked. A fulfilling life in our later years doesn't require expensive programs, complicated diets, or chasing the latest health trends. What it really comes down to are the small, consistent choices we make each day, the gentle habits that nourish both body and soul. Habits that tell us, I still matter, my life still has meaning, I am still becoming. In this video, we're going to explore 7 essential practices that can help you care for yourself in a way that feels both simple and powerful. These aren't lofty ideas or impossible goals. They are down-to-earth steps that thousands of vibrant seniors rely on every day to stay strong, connected, and joyful. From how we move, to how we eat, to how we rest and connect with others, each of these steps can reshape not just how we feel physically, but also how we see ourselves and how we experience the world around us. So I invite you to listen with an open heart. Take in what speaks to you. And by the end, I hope you'll feel encouraged to pick even just one small habit to begin today. Because caring for yourself is not only an act of survival, it's an act of love, both for yourself and for the people who cherish you. If there's one habit that can completely transform the way you age, it's this: keep moving. Now, when I say movement, I don't mean running marathons, sweating at the gym, or keeping up with 20-year-olds on YouTube fitness channels. I'm talking about gentle, steady movement, the kind that honors the body you have today, the kind that keeps your muscles awake, your joints flexible, and your spirit engaged. You see, the moment we stop moving, everything else begins to slow down. Muscles weaken faster than most of us realize. Joints become stiff, blood circulation gets sluggish, even digestion, balance, and mood are affected. Movement isn't just about staying fit, it's about staying alive in the truest sense. And here's the encouraging part: it doesn't take much. A 10-minute walk down the block, standing up and sitting down from a sturdy chair 5 times in a row, rolling your shoulders back, stretching your arms toward the ceiling, or practicing balance by holding on to the kitchen counter. These tiny acts may look ordinary, but they send a powerful message to your body. I still need you. We are still in this together. Let me share a story. Walter, a 78-year-old retired mail carrier from Indiana, doesn't consider himself athletic. Every morning, though, rain or shine, he walks to the corner of his street and back before breakfast. It takes him maybe 7 minutes. He says it's not about burning calories or losing weight, it's about rhythm, about the sound of his own footsteps reminding him he's still moving forward. That short walk, he told me, sets the tone for his entire day. He jokes, the day I stop walking is the day I stop living. And he means it. For Walter, that daily rhythm is a lifeline. You might be thinking, but my knees hurt, or I get tired so easily. And I understand that. Bodies change and limitations are real. But here's the beauty. Movement can be adapted. Maybe it's walking in your garden, holding onto a walker, or even doing gentle stretches from your chair. Every bit counts. Consistency is what matters most, not intensity. And something magical happens when you move regularly. You start to notice little victories. The stairs feel a bit easier. Your balance improves when reaching for something on the shelf. Even your mood feels lighter, because moving the body also moves the mind. Science confirms this. Gentle exercise reduces anxiety, sharpens focus, and releases natural chemicals that lift your spirit. So here's my encouragement to you. Find a form of daily movement that feels right for your body and your lifestyle. Don't compare it to what others are doing or even what you used to do at 40. Just honor where you are today and give your body the gift of motion. Because in the end, movement is freedom. It protects your independence, preserves your confidence, and helps you keep saying day after day, I am still here, I am still alive. Food has always been more than fuel. It's comfort, tradition, and memory. But as we grow older, eating well takes on a new meaning. It's no longer about chasing the perfect number on a scale or following trendy diets. Instead, it becomes about giving your body what it needs to feel steady, strong, and at peace. One of the most powerful ways to care for yourself in later years is to create a simple, nourishing eating routine, one that doesn't feel like a burden or a puzzle you have to solve every day. Here's the truth. The best meals are often the simplest. Fresh vegetables, wholesome grains, lean proteins, a bit of healthy fat, foods your body recognizes. Foods that are gentle on digestion and provide energy that lasts throughout the day. Mary, an 80-year-old from Oklahoma, understands this well. Every morning, she has the same breakfast, a bowl of oatmeal topped with blueberries, one boiled egg, and warm lemon water. She laughs when people call it boring. For her, it's grounding. She doesn't have to stand in the kitchen wondering, what should I eat today? Her body feels nourished, her digestion is smooth, and her energy stays even. What some call routine, she calls peace. And that's the beauty of a simple eating rhythm. It frees up mental space. It takes away the stress and replaces it with calm. Another piece of the puzzle is hydration. Did you know that as we age, the natural sense of thirst fades? Many older adults simply forget to drink enough. But water is one of the easiest, most powerful forms of self-care. Staying hydrated keeps joints from aching, helps memory stay sharp, supports digestion, and even keeps skin more comfortable. You don't have to force gallons of water. Just weave it into your day. A glass with every meal, a warm herbal tea in the afternoon, a gentle reminder that your body thrives when you give it this basic gift. And here's something important to remember. Nourishing yourself doesn't mean giving up joy. It's not about strict rules or never enjoying a slice of pie. It's about building a foundation of simple, wholesome meals most of the time. So when you do have a treat, it feels like celebration instead of guilt. So ask yourself, what meals make my body feel comfortable? What foods give me steady energy without leaving me heavy or tired? Start there. Build a rhythm that works for you and let it become a source of comfort instead of confusion. Because food is not just about filling your stomach. It's about filling your life with the energy to live each day fully, with clarity and peace. Sleep. So simple when we were young, and yet so tricky as the years go by. Many older adults tell me, I can fall asleep, but I wake up 3 or 4 times a night, or I stay up late watching TV and then I'm groggy all morning. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Sleep often becomes more fragile with age. But here's the good news. You don't have to chase perfect sleep with pills or gadgets. One of the most powerful gifts you can give yourself is a regular sleep schedule. That means going to bed and waking up at around the same time every single day, even on weekends, even when you don't have anywhere to be. It may sound simple, but your body loves rhythm. Deep inside, we all have what's called a natural clock. A rhythm that tells us when to rest and when to wake. When you honor that rhythm, your body knows what to expect. Hormones balance out. Digestion works better. Your mood steadies. Memory sharpens. In short, everything starts to feel smoother. Take Gerald, a 79-year-old from New Hampshire. For years, he stayed up late watching the evening news, then slept in as long as he could. But he never felt truly rested. Finally, he decided to experiment. He started going to bed at 9:30 every night and waking at 6 in the morning. At first, it felt strange, but within a week, he said his energy returned. His mind felt sharper. At nearly 80, he told me he felt more rested than he had in his 60s. That's the magic of consistency. It doesn't mean you'll sleep like a teenager again. It means the sleep you do get becomes deeper, more restorative. Of course, there are little habits that make this easier. Dimming the lights an hour before bed, turning off screens, avoiding heavy late-night meals, reading, praying, or listening to calming music instead of scrolling or stressing. These gentle signals whisper to your body, it's time to rest. And don't forget about your daytime habits, because they matter just as much. A little morning sunlight, some light movement, and keeping naps short and early in the day all help your brain know the difference between day and night. So if you find yourself struggling with sleep, don't get discouraged. Start with something small. Set one consistent wake-up time. Or head to bed just 10 minutes earlier each night until you find your sweet spot. Because when you give your body the gift of rhythm, sleep becomes less of a battle and more of a blessing. You wake up clearer, calmer, and more ready to live the day ahead. When we talk about self-care, most of us immediately think about the physical things: exercise, food, doctor's visits. But there's another side to health that's just as important, if not more so: our emotional well-being. Growing older brings changes that touch the heart deeply. Friends move away or pass on, children and grandchildren get busy. The world feels faster, louder, and sometimes less familiar. Energy dips. Loneliness, worry, or even sadness can quietly creep in. And because so much attention is given to our physical health, it's easy to ignore what's happening inside. But here's the truth: how you feel emotionally shapes everything else. If your heart is heavy, food tastes different, sleep feels restless, even the body struggles to heal. On the other hand, when you tend to your emotional life, every part of living becomes lighter, steadier, and more meaningful. So, what does it look like to care for your emotional well-being? It doesn't mean pretending to be happy all the time. It means being honest with yourself, asking, how am I really doing today? And then giving yourself permission to feel the answer, whether it's joy, grief, hope, or frustration. Sandra, an 82-year-old from Georgia, has a small morning ritual. Each day she opens her notebook and writes down just a few words about how she feels. Sometimes it's tired but hopeful. Other days it's missing my sister. She says it doesn't fix everything, but it makes her feel honest, grounded, and in control of her inner world. For her, it's not about therapy, it's about awareness. And that awareness keeps her heart soft. Other seniors find peace in simple practices: a daily phone call with someone they trust, writing letters, saying prayers, listening to calming music, or sitting quietly with a cup of tea and their thoughts. These are small acts of tending the inner garden, keeping it alive and open. And sometimes emotional care means reaching out for help. That might be a counselor, a support group, or simply a friend who listens well. Asking for help with feelings doesn't make you weak, it makes you wise. Studies show that seniors who nurture their emotional health recover faster from illness, sleep better, and enjoy more satisfaction in life, even when physical challenges come. So if you've been pushing your emotions aside, consider this a gentle invitation. Check in with yourself. Write a few words, call someone you trust, allow yourself to cry, to laugh, to hope, because your feelings are not a problem to solve. They are signs that you are still deeply alive. And when your emotional world is steady, the rest of life becomes easier to carry. You walk lighter, you connect deeper. You face each day not just with strength in your body, but with peace in your heart. There's something quietly powerful about feeling clean, fresh, and put together. It may seem small, almost ordinary, but for many older adults, hygiene and grooming are the doorway to dignity, confidence, and even joy. When we were younger, showering, dressing, and brushing our hair were things we did without much thought. But as the years pass, these simple routines can sometimes feel like chores, especially if energy is low, balance is tricky, or health issues make daily care harder. That's why it's so important to remember. These small acts are not just about appearance. They are about how you feel in your own skin. Think about the difference between dragging through the day in yesterday's clothes versus slipping into something clean and comfortable. One makes you feel stuck. The other says, I'm ready for today. That shift in feeling matters more than we often realize. I once spoke with a gentleman named Harold, 84, who had stopped shaving after his wife passed away. He told me he just didn't see the point anymore. But one day his granddaughter brought him a new electric razor and encouraged him to try it. He said that first clean shave made him feel like himself again. I looked in the mirror and thought, there I am, he told me. From that day on, grooming became part of his healing. Simple hygiene habits like brushing teeth, washing hands, trimming nails, or bathing regularly are also powerful for health. They prevent infections, keep skin comfortable, and protect against illnesses. But beyond health, they nourish the spirit. And grooming doesn't have to be elaborate. For some, it's wearing a favorite sweater. For others, it's brushing their hair, dabbing on a little cologne, or putting on lipstick before heading to the store. These rituals remind us that self-respect is not about vanity, it's about care. Of course, if physical challenges make hygiene difficult, that's nothing to be ashamed of. It simply means adjusting routines. Maybe that means using shower chairs, slip-resistant mats, or asking for a little help from a trusted caregiver. What matters is finding ways to keep these habits alive in a way that feels safe and sustainable. Because here's the truth. When you take time to care for your appearance, you're sending a message, not just to others, but to yourself. The message is, I matter. My life has value. I am still me. So whether it's brushing your hair in the morning, slipping into fresh clothes, or keeping up with small grooming routines, don't underestimate their power. These little habits are more than hygiene. They are daily affirmations of dignity and self-love. And when you feel good in your own skin, it becomes easier to step out into the world with confidence, no matter your age. If the body is like a house, then the mind is its light. Keeping that light bright is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself as you grow older. And the way to do that is simple. Keep your mind active. Many people think of aging as a slow dimming of memory or focus. But here's the truth. Your brain, just like your muscles, thrives when you use it. Staying mentally active doesn't mean solving algebra problems or memorizing long lists. It means feeding your natural curiosity, exploring, learning, and keeping your inner world alive. Think about the things that make you lean in with interest. Is it reading the morning paper, listening to a podcast, working on a crossword puzzle, picking up a hobby you loved years ago like painting, gardening, or playing cards? Every time you stretch your mind in these ways, you're telling your brain, stay awake, stay alive. I met a woman named Carol, 76, who had always dreamed of learning Spanish but never found the time. After retiring, she decided, why not now? She downloaded a simple language app and practiced 15 minutes a day. She laughed as she told me, I may never be fluent, but I can order my tacos with confidence. More importantly, she said her memory felt sharper, and she had a new sense of excitement each day. That's the beauty of mental stimulation. It's not about becoming an expert. It's about keeping your mind engaged with life. And the best part? It doesn't require big investments. Libraries, community centers, senior groups, and even free online classes offer endless opportunities to learn and connect. Some people join book clubs, others take up puzzles, while some simply spend time with grandchildren, learning from their fresh perspective. Curiosity itself is a form of exercise. There's also something profoundly healing about creativity. Writing in a journal, sketching, cooking a new recipe, even rearranging your living room. These acts spark the brain in ways that strengthen memory, focus, and problem solving. And let's not forget the social side. Conversations, debates, storytelling, all of these challenge your brain in healthy, joyful ways. Every time you share a laugh or exchange an idea, you're strengthening mental pathways just as surely as if you were lifting weights for the brain. So here's the encouragement. Don't let your mind grow still. Invite it to play, to explore, to stay curious. Even 5 or 10 minutes a day of intentional brain activity makes a difference over time. Because when your mind stays active, life feels bigger. Colors are brighter, conversations are richer, and days carry a sense of possibility. And that light in your mind, that spark of curiosity, becomes something no number of candles on a birthday cake can ever extinguish. There's a quiet strength in independence. Most of us have spent our lives taking care of others, raising families, building homes, showing up for friends and neighbors. So when the time comes that we need help ourselves, it can feel uncomfortable, even embarrassing. But here's the truth. Asking for help is not weakness, it's wisdom. Needing support is part of being human. Think back. When you helped someone you loved, did you see them as a burden? Of course not. You likely felt grateful for the chance to give back, to show your care in a real, tangible way. The same is true for those who love you. Accepting help allows them to express their love, and it deepens your connection. Take the story of Eleanor, 81, who resisted asking her daughter to drive her to the grocery store. She didn't want to be a bother. But one day, her daughter gently said, "Mom, I love doing this with you. It's not a chore, it's time together." From then on, Eleanor realized that her daughter didn't see her request as a burden, but as a gift, an opportunity to bond. When you ask for help, whether it's with carrying groceries, setting up technology, or simply needing someone to listen, you're not losing independence, you're strengthening it. Because getting the right support allows you to keep living the life you want. instead of struggling silently. And here's something important. Asking for help also protects your emotional well-being. Isolation, frustration, and stress often grow when we try to handle everything alone. But when you share your needs openly, you lighten the load. You create room for connection, trust, and relief. Think of it this way. A bridge doesn't collapse because it leans on its pillars. It stands strong because of them. In the same way, leaning on others doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to build stability. So the next time you feel hesitation, remember this. Asking for help is an act of courage. It says, I value myself enough to reach out, and it allows others to say, you matter to me. We were never meant to walk this road alone. By accepting help, you give yourself freedom and you give others the joy of showing love. That is not weakness, that is grace. So what do all of these little habits mean? Movement, nourishing food, steady sleep, tending to emotions, caring for hygiene, keeping the mind alive, and asking for help. They remind us that aging well is not about perfection or expensive treatments or pretending to be 20 again. It's about choosing small, meaningful actions that honor your body, your spirit, and your dignity, day after day. When you rise from your chair with steadiness, you say, I am still strong. When you enjoy a simple, nourishing meal, you say, I am still caring for myself. When you reach out for connection, you say, I am still here, still alive, still becoming. And that's the heart of it. Aging is not about decline. It's about continuing to live with intention, about showing yourself and the people who love you what it looks like to grow older with grace, courage, and heart. Every small habit you practice is not just a gift to yourself, it's also a message to those around you. It shows your children, your grandchildren, your friends and neighbors that aging can be vibrant, dignified, and beautiful. You become a living example of resilience and hope. So, as you step into tomorrow, I encourage you. Choose just one of these habits to focus on. Walk a few extra steps, drink a glass of water, go to bed a little earlier, call someone you've been missing. These simple acts may look ordinary, but together, they build a life that is extraordinary. Because aging well isn't about counting the years. It's about making every day count. And that, my friend, is a gift worth giving yourself.